The headline reporting the results of a poll stated majority of adults at personal best in the morning. The result indicated that a survey of 1,000 adults resulted in 5,400 54% stating that they were at their best in the morning. The poll's results were reported with a margin of error 2%. Explain why the poll's headline is accurate. So 54% was the value for the sample. And if the margin of error is 2%, you add and subtract 2% from 54%. So you get 52% and 56%. So what that means is that we can be confident that in the overall population, between 52% and 56% are at their personal best in the morning. And all the values in the 52 to 56% interval are greater than 50%. So all the values are majority values, and that's why the heading is correct. So all the values within the margin of error are greater than 50%. So just because more than 50% of the respondents answered the affirmative doesn't mean that the population will also have a majority. It's if after the margin of error you still have more than 50%, no matter where you are after the margin of error, then you can say that the majority, that it applies to the majority. Okay, compute the critical value Z alpha by 2 that corresponds to a 91% confidence level. So when you are given a confidence level, that's the middle area. And Z always call for normal distribution. So you would go to StatCrunch and let's see, we do have a StatCrunch open. Right. Open StatCrunch. Okay. So you would go to stats calculator normal. Oh, all right. So stats calculator normal. And they said 91% level of confidence. So level of confidence is also the in between area. So you go to the between, and you know the area box is the last box. So you put 0.91 over there. And if they ask for two values, you would give both of these. But if they ask for just one value, then you give the positive one. So 1.70. Use the given level of confidence to find the margin of error. Remember, margin of error was U plus L by 2. That was the formula for margin of error. No, U minus L by 2. U plus L by 2 is the point estimate. So margin of error is the interval length divided by 2. It's half of the interval length. So in this case, it would be 0.619 is the upper bound. So 0.619 minus 0.591 divided by 2. So that gives you 0.014. And p hat is the point estimate. So point estimate is the midpoint. So you take the midpoint of this interval by adding the two numbers and dividing by 2. So when we add them, let's see, what do we get? So you add them and you divide by 2, you will get 0.605. 0.605. And p hat is symbol for sample proportion or point estimate, and that's the midpoint of the confidence interval. So point estimate, we know, would be the midpoint. So you take the midpoint of this interval, 0.532 plus 0.798 divided by 2. 532 plus 0.798 divided by 2. And what do we get? 798 plus 532 is 1330, and divided by 2, 0.665. And margin of error is u minus L divided by 2. So it would be 0.798 minus 0.532 divided by 2. Okay, so what would that be? That's 0.266 divided by 2, so 0.133. The number of individuals in the sample with the specified characteristic is, so n is the total sample, 1000, and the specified character, so this point estimate tells you that this is the proportion which have the specified characteristic. So if the proportion is 0.665 and the total is 1000, you just multiply these two. You multiply the proportion with the total number to find how many have the desired characteristic. So 0.665 times 1000 would be 665.